As I suspected, Artur Beterbiev himself believes that the cut he suffered in his fight against Marcus Browne was caused by an intentional headbutt. I've seen some people say that no, it was caused by a punch. Well, a punch landed within a second of the headbutt, either before or after. I forget exactly which came first, but it was the headbutt that caused the cut. And if you go and watch the slow motion replay, watch closely. Yes, it could have been unintentional, it could have been accidental, but as I said previously, the fact that the exact same injury happened to Badou Jack leads me to at least entertain the possibility that it was deliberate, that it wasn't just an accident, that it could be some dirty veteran trick that he's learned in the gym over the years, whereby he knows how to disguise a headbutt and make it look like it's a punch or look like it's an accidental clash of heads. So that's how Beterbiev feels. I'm not surprised, because that's how I was thinking when I saw that slow motion replay. I was like, was that intentional? Was that some sneaky veteran move where he's getting the headbutt in and disguising it behind a punch? Or is it just random coincidence? Is there no intention behind it at all for Marcus Browne? Because when I looked at the way Browne was fighting against Beterbiev, to me, he looked rushed. He looked like a guy who knew that he was on the clock. He knew that Beterbiev was going to get to him. I suspect he may have headbutted him deliberately to get Beterbiev off his case, to buy himself some time. Because if the guy is bleeding and blood's going into his eye, perhaps the fight gets stopped. Perhaps you can manage to catch him with something. Now, obviously, and this is one thing that some people have pointed out, Marcus Browne was cut himself during that clash of heads. But it's one of those kind of things. If you're looking to cut your opponent with your head, there's a chance that you could get cut in that clash too. It's a fight at the end of the day. And if you go in with your head, your opponent might dip his head. Your opponent might pull you towards him. Your opponent might put his head off to the side. You can never be 100% sure that if you're going in to headbutt somebody, you won't come off with a cut yourself or a bruise yourself. And that's what happened to Marcus Browne. So to me, that doesn't mean that it wasn't intentional. It just means that that's the risk you take if you do try to intentionally headbutt somebody. Now, again, the reason I'm saying I don't know for certain if it was intentional is because I don't know. I suspect it might have been, but I don't know. It's possible. Things occasionally do happen just randomly where a guy causes the same injury to two opponents, which is a very unusual injury. You know, like a vertical cut like that down the middle of the forehead is very seldom seen in boxing. And is this something we need to watch for Marcus Browne moving forward? If he's under pressure in a fight, is he going to resort to dirty tactics? Imagine if he does this to somebody else and they end up with the same vertical cut on their forehead. Are people still going to say it's coincidence then? Anyway, the only positive, if you want to look at it that way, is that a cut in the middle of the forehead is usually not as problematic long term as a cut on the eye, because the skin on the forehead is usually a bit tougher than the skin around the eyes. So it may heal better and be less likely to open up again. Although, you know, it was a bad cut, not as bad as the one Badou Jack suffered, but it's still a bad cut. But again, given the skin on the forehead generally being tougher than the skin around the eyes, it should heal a bit better and hopefully won't be an issue for Artur Beterbiev in future fights. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say on the matter. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.